Hi, I'm Ellen, and I'm talking to you about my city, which is New Orleans, New Orleans, Louisiana. The city of New Orleans, also known as the Big Easy, has a reputation of being the big party place. But today I'm going to give you other reasons why to come and visit this great city. A little history of New Orleans first. New Orleans was founded on May 7th of 1718 by the French. The city was under the rule of the French and the Spanish for a long time. There also was a large fire that caught the city on fire. The St. Louis Cathedral is the only building that stood, and it remains here today. First, I would like to describe Mardi Gras a little bit. Mardi Gras is known as Fat Tuesday. It is a big party for 2 weeks. There are parades that parade in the city and in the suburbs prior to Fat Tuesday. The parades consist of floats, marching bands, dance teams, marching clubs, horses. Everyone has a great time. The bands are from high schools, from the city area, from around the country, from different states. They're high school bands, they're college, they're universities. They also come in, they promote their schools. They do get money for marching in the parades. We have plenty of visitors coming from all over the world, from Spain, England, Europe, Belgium, Sweden, you name it, they come in. I also have been in parades, and I've also been on the ground in parades. With riding on a parade, on a float, you are dressed up in costume, you wear a mask, when I was on the float, I used to help decorate the floats. We did everything by hand. We made our own costumes. We used to win first place on our headpieces and our costumes every year. We were always in the top 10 floats of the parade. And to ride it is one thing. You see the crowds. The crowds are like 20 deep. They want you to throw them all kinds of stuff, doubloons, beads, a little bit of everything. Then you're on the ground and you're hollering at these people on the float, wanting to throw you this, throw you that, beads, doubloons, you name it. But I had a good time. It was costly, but it was great. But I had a good time. I still have a good time doing this. Then, let me show you some pictures that I've done when I rode. This is one of our floats that we decorated. It was Disney Parades on Sesame Street. All the guys were Big Birds, and the women were all Minnie Mouses. Everything on this float was cut out by us and decorated by us. We made all these costumes were handmade by members on our floats or someone that knew how to sew. And this is another picture that we had one year that we rode, another one. And then this is another one that we did too, another year. I rode about 10 years in the parades, but I really enjoyed myself. And next I would like to say, if Mardi Gras is not for you, then we also have festivals in the area that you can come and experience. The first of the festivals is the French Quarter Festival, which is the first weekend of the month of April, and it's the biggest free music festival in the South, and there's always great music and great food in a historic setting. There's music in the streets, on the banks of the Mississippi River, an area for the kids by the Aquarium of the Americas, and the largest jazz brunch in the world with several venues for foods and everything. It was the locals' best kept secret all over the world from all over the world come to enjoy the festival with us. Then in the month of May, we have the Jazz Fest. Unlike the French Quarter Fest, the Jazz Fest is not free. It costs about $50 to $75 a ticket. This festival is held over 2 weeks in May. Like the French Quarter Fest, the Jazz Fest also has great food, music, and is held by the fairgrounds in the city of New Orleans. My final point I would like to talk about is attractions and activities in and around the city of New Orleans for all age groups. One is the St. Louis Cathedral, which is in the heart of the French Quarter, is a Catholic church, and every religion of faith comes and visits that cathedral. We also have Chalmette Battlefield. We have the plantations along the riverbank, the zoo, the aquariums, and also the Garden District along St. Charles Avenue. Oak Alley Plantation is located on 25 acres of land in Vacherie, Louisiana, and is one of the most popular plantations. You can make reservations and stay in one of the overnight cottages for a weekend, or dine in their restaurant and eat Cajun Creole cuisine. You can have a tour guide, or you can go on your tour of the mansion yourself. There's different things you can learn about the blacksmith, about the slaves, their cottages that they reconstructed. And then in conclusion, we as a city may be in the public eye all the time, but one thing we can say is we keep our faith and our spirits are always up. As we say down here in the South, laissez les bon temps rouler, which means let the good times roll.